Introduction. Did you know that the pharaohs did not only build the pyramids and unify Egypt, but they were also among the first to develop mathematical systems that we still use in our daily lives? Imagine that the numbers we see today on paper originated in the land of the Nile thousands of years ago. A complex journey of calculations, numbers, and fractions was used not only to build temples but also to organize taxes, trade, and even the daily life of the ancient Egyptians. In this video, we will dive into the secrets of mathematics in ancient Egypt and how the pharaohs invented amazing calculation methods that we never imagined. Join us as we explore the story of mathematical creativity from the heart of a great civilization that left an unforgettable legacy. How the pharaohs used numbers and calculations. Let's start by imagining the daily life of an ancient Egyptian farmer. The farmers in ancient Egypt grew crops and harvested produce, but how were the taxes on each crop calculated? How were the quantities of grains or livestock measured? The farmers relied on an accurate numerical system, created by the pharaohs, not just for recording harvests but for organizing economic and social life. This system began in the early dynasties when the ancient Egyptians developed a decimal system that was easy to work with, unlike other complex systems used in the ancient world. For example, if we wanted to write the number 4622, they wrote it in an organized manner by placing the larger number to the left, which is the same way we write numbers today, even though we know the Egyptians wrote from right to left. Example of writing numbers in hieroglyphs. In the hieroglyphic system, the pharaohs used specific symbols to represent numbers. For example, the number 1 was written as a stroke, while the number 10 was written as a long stick. To write the number 4622 in hieroglyphs, the Egyptians would have written, 4000 is written with 4 symbols of animal feet, each representing 1000. 600 is written with a symbol for rectangular surfaces. 20 is written with a symbol representing a short stick. 2 is written with a stroke. So, to write the number 4622 in hieroglyphs, it would look like this: 4 times 1000, animal feet, 6 times 100, rectangular surface, 2 times 10, stick, 2 times 1, stroke. The pharaohs wrote numbers in a simple yet organized way, where the numbers were arranged from left to right based on their value, which is similar to what we do today. Mathematics in daily life, fractions and calculations. The pharaohs didn't just work with whole numbers, they also invented ways to write fractions. For example, they had a special symbol for each common fraction like half, half, 2/3, 2/3, and 3/4, 3/4. The surprising thing is that the Egyptians did not use zero, and they wrote fractions in a way completely different from how we do it today, but they succeeded in making their calculations easier and more accurate. This fraction-based system was at the heart of daily trade in ancient Egypt. In the markets, traders dealt with samples of grain by measuring them precisely using units called hekat, which were subdivided into smaller parts. Can you believe the pharaohs used the Eye of Horus symbols to represent specific parts of these units? Yes, the Eye of Horus was not just a symbol for protection from evil spirits, but it was also a part of the daily trade calculations. Mathematical methods used by the pharaohs: addition, multiplication, and division. But what about the calculations themselves? How did the pharaohs perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division? Let's take an example. If we have the number 2322 and want to add 132 to it, how would they do that? The pharaohs didn't use calculators, of course. Instead, they used repeated addition, and thanks to their decimal system, the operations were simple and clear. For multiplication, the Egyptians used successive doubling to multiply any two numbers. For example, if we wanted to multiply 7 by 9, The ancient Egyptian scribe would start by doubling the number 7 several times until they reached a nearby value, and then they would add the appropriate numbers to reach the final result, just like they did when multiplying 59 by 37, in a fascinating way that combined intelligence and perseverance. Advanced division. As for division, it also relied on repeated doubling, but with some fine-tuning. For example, if we wanted to divide 264 by 3, they would begin by doubling the number 3 repeatedly until they reached the correct result by adding the appropriate multiples. What makes all of this so special is the accuracy of the Pharaohs' division, even when it came to dividing with fractions. They could divide 4 by 7 and get an accurate fraction. This helped them manage numbers and fractions in trade and in their daily calculations. Conclusion. Did you see how the pharaohs weren't just brilliant engineers and architects? They were also exceptional mathematicians who created systems that have impacted our world even today. If you're amazed by these incredible calculations made by the ancient Egyptians, don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel for more exciting videos about the history of ancient civilizations and their innovations. Did you know the pharaohs had such advanced mathematical systems? If you love discovering more secrets that many have overlooked in the history of humanity, subscribe to the channel now. You'll embark with us on a journey through time to explore more of the scientific and engineering wonders left behind by the pharaohs, and you won't regret this intellectual adventure. Don't miss out. Click the subscribe button and follow us to discover more secrets of ancient civilizations that changed the world.